Do buyers need to be ready to rumble? Well, it depends on your budget. Let's take a look at what's happening in the Minneapolis real estate market now that the spring rush has truly started. I'm Mary Schumann, and I am a realtor here in the Twin Cities. If you are thinking of moving to the Twin Cities, I have a free relocation guide in my description box down below. Feel free to download that if you'd like. Overall numbers can be a little bit deceptive because it's a look at all the housing types in a 7-county area. So sometimes you get these aggregate numbers and it's like, what is this really telling me? Because it includes homes that are sitting longer, like condos and very high-end homes. But if we break things down by price point, that may really help you see what world we're living in right now, or at least the world that we were living in February, because this is all data based on February's activity. So right now, the median single-family home price for previously owned homes in the metro area is at nearly $394,000. That is up 1.3% over last year. The median price for new construction homes is at just over $567,000, and that is actually down $3,000 from the beginning of the year and 2.8% from January of last year. So good news on new construction is that there is a 6-month supply of new construction homes right now, and that means enough supply out there for no new homes to be added, and we could burn through that amount of home sales in 6 months. Some of these homes may be in the to-be-built stage, which means it's actually dirt. But if you're a buyer, you pretty much have your pick, and the builders are actively trying to attract buyers, not just sitting on the sidelines, raking in offers like some other segments might be. Hint, hint. If you are interested in previously owned homes, we see the month supply of homes at 1.4 months. So that's how long it takes to sell all the houses on the market. That is low. And that is very much a seller's market, whereas new construction is a balanced market verging on a buyer's market. So to make things even more relevant to the typical buyer or seller of a median priced home, we are only looking at 1 month's supply of homes that are in the median price range. And that means that everything that we have on the market in that price range would sell within 30 days if nothing else were added. This really shows when you're out with someone trying to buy a home in this range, and I'm just going to give you a story about one of my buyers that I'm helping right now. We haven't looked at that many homes yet, but ones we have looked at, we're not that great. We did find one that was in great shape and at a good price, and you're never going to guess what happened next. The agent sent a notification to anyone who had shown that home saying that they were calling for highest and best offers, and that was after 1 day on the market. And in the end, this agent was really generous. They sent out an email to everyone who had submitted an offer with a summary of what happened, and it lets us look at what he saw and where our offer fell short. He did not reveal the actual final price, which is normal and expected, but he did say that they received 10 offers on that home. All except one were over asking price. The winning offer had no contingencies, and this means that the offer that won waived inspection, and they also likely paid cash. I just looked at another home that she was interested in on the MLS today, and it's a similar price point, and that home already has agent notes in there saying that highest and best offer deadline has been established, and what that means is that they have already gotten offers in hand, and they want to see what else can come up within the next day or two. So the median home price and lower are going to, once again, tend to be difficult price points this year, as they're kind of more affordable homes, and the most buyers will be competing for that limited number of homes. I pulled the graph of showings, and this represents a larger geographic area, so it's not just the 7-county area, but you can see where the bulk of the activity lies for people who are looking at homes. Properties priced between $200,000 and $400,000 are neck and neck for showing demand. The good news is, as usual, if you have a larger budget, you are in an increasingly good position. The month's supply of inventory goes up by about 2 weeks for every $150,000 that you add to the price point. So when you get into that $600,000 to $800,000 range, we see 2 months worth of inventory, and this actually holds for any inventory up to $1 million. So 2 months is still a seller's market, and I just walked into an $850,000 home today The agent did say there would be overlapping showings, but I wasn't expecting to have 3 other showings happening at the exact same time, and to me, this is not ideal. Upper bracket homes, which means over $1 million, are pretty plentiful with enough inventory to last about 4 months. So if you are in the $1 million and above price point, you have much more negotiating power overall. One of the transaction coordination companies here gives us a snapshot of what they see on accepted offers in the Twin Cities, and here's just a quick look at the type of terms that are winning right now in the Twin Cities metro area. So the number one question we always hear is inspections. Should I waive it or not? I always say no, but if you're desperate for the house, you'll do anything. Inspections are being waived 25% of the time right now. This is actually lower than it was earlier in the year. I'm also going to add their graph rate here so you can see what's happened over the past couple of years. In 2022, when we all felt like we were inside of a washing machine, really, you can see that this metric peaked at 55% of people waiving inspections in April of that year. That's really mind-blowing to me. And then last year, we peaked at 38% of people doing that, but not until May, and then it calmed back down. Homes are selling before they hit the market at about 5% of the time, and that is down. People are paying cash about 20% of the time. Conventional mortgages stay on top of the heap at 70%. That usually kind of hangs around in the high 60s to mid 70s. FHA is now seeing a 3% success rate, and VA is at the highest that I've seen, I think, ever since I started doing these videos, at 7%. People are giving sellers an average of 101.6% of the price that they ask for. There's been a fairly decent period of time where sellers were contributing to buyers' closing costs, and we're actually down to seeing that happen only about 20% of the time right now. If you look at this graph, you can see that last year we were successful at negotiating this up to 53% of the time before it leveled out for a few months at around 25 to 28% of the time. This is a measure of the strength of the seller's market because this shows what sellers feel they need to do as far as negotiating with buyers versus just going ahead and moving on to the next one that might not request these kind of things. So we see a slight increase in offers accepted contingent on the sale of a buyer's current property. And escalation clauses are starting to be added to offers more often. This is up to 7% of the time. Appraisal gap coverage is being included about 15% of the time, and that is an increase as well. So finally, if a buyer gets under contract, they are sticking with it. The cancellation rate is down. We only see about 2% of buyers that are canceling on their contracts. I absolutely love to talk to people that meet me on YouTube. So if that's you and you have a question, please reach out. I'm happy to help you if I can. Have a great weekend.